Hi everyone, today I'm talking about the real reason you can't get past procrastination. This is a problem writers come to me with all the time is this procrastination. I think all writers suffer from it to a certain degree, but for some people it's so severe that it feels crippling. It feels like they can never get anything done. They can never push forward and make any progress with any of their writing projects. So if this is you, listen up because that's what we're going to be going into today. Now, the type of procrastination I'm talking about is when you feel a dread, you feel a distinctive dread about the thing that you're supposed to do. It feels like a weight. It feels very heavy on you, almost like a physical weight. And when you think about doing it, you immediately get tired. You immediately feel fatigue, or you feel like, I want to do anything but that. I will wash all the dishes. I will clean the entire house. I want to do anything except this thing that I'm supposed to be doing because it feels so dreadful and it feels so heavy. It's like you have to drag yourself there, right? Like pulling teeth, that saying pulling teeth. It's really, really difficult. So, what is going on? Now, this doesn't just extend to writing projects. You may have noticed that you felt like this about other tasks in your life, like turning in your tax paperwork or going to the DMV, right? Things that are normally boring and tedious, so it's understandable why you don't want to do them. But then there's this added weight where it feels like you can't do them. And that's what's really puzzling. That's what's so confusing to people because they're like, this is such a little task, or I know that I need to just break it up into manageable steps. You know, my writing work, I just need to sit down every day for a little while and work on it for a little bit or once a week. It's not that big of a deal. Rationally, I can see it's not that big of a deal. So why does it feel like such a big deal? Why does it feel like this monumental task that I just can't do? Now, part of this, a lot of the time, is overwhelm. A lot of times, the person does just need to pull back, look at the project, divide it into smaller steps. That works. But the type of procrastination I'm talking about is when you've already done that and you're still not making progress. You're still procrastinating. It still feels like this big, heavy weight on you. So, what's really going on in these cases? That big, heavy weight you're feeling, that's the weight of negative emotion. You've got a bunch of negative emotions tied up in this task. And the negative emotions are usually shame and self-judgment. And that's why it feels so horrible. That's why it feels so dreadful. And like you don't want to think about it. You want to distract yourself. You're willing to do all of these other tasks before you do that task. Because every time you think about doing that task, almost always you think about how long you've put it off, how hard it is for you, how it shouldn't be hard for you, how you're messing up by not doing it. So you trigger your shame at a really deep level and you trigger self-judgment. Also, a lot of the time, whatever it is that is causing this tornado of negative emotions that goes through us, whatever it is something that in our own minds, we have told ourselves, if you were really responsible, you would be able to do this thing. If you were organized, if you had your stuff together, you would be able to do this thing. If you were mature, if you were an adult, I hear that term a lot too. I need to just be an adult about this, or this calls for some adulting, right? If you find yourself talking to yourself in that way of like, well, I need to grow up, or I need to be more responsible, or, you know, I'm so bad at adulting. Whenever you're sort of talking to yourself in that way, you're shaming yourself. You're saying, I'm irresponsible, I'm disorganized, I'm still like a little kid, everyone else around me has it all together, and I don't. So again, there's that shame and that self-judgment. And also that can happen when we need to go to the DMV or we need to turn in our tax paperwork. And a lot of times that's why it does happen. We, in our minds, equate these with adult tasks, responsible tasks. This is what people do who are organized. And when we don't think we are any of those things and we feel very badly about it and we're rejecting ourselves on that level because we feel like you're still a little kid, you can't get it together, there's something wrong with you, That's when we feel the weight of the shame and the self-judgment. So what's the solution to this? How do we get past this? If this is how you feel about your writing, if you're like, I know that my book just needs a new cover and I need to redo the cover, but I'm really dreading it. Or I know that I need to finish my manuscript. I finished it, but I need to do some edits. I need to look at the edits that I got back from someone, but I'm dreading it. Or I actually need to finish the story itself, but I don't even know where to begin, and I feel like I've put it off for so long. In any kind of scenario with your writing, when you're feeling this heavy weight of procrastination, the first thing to do that's the most helpful is to bring awareness to what's actually going on. You telling yourself that it isn't a very big deal, and it shouldn't be a big deal, and there's something wrong with you for making it into a big deal is not helping. The best thing to do is to say, I don't know why this is such a big deal for me, but it is. It obviously is, because if it wasn't, I would have done it 6 months ago or 3 months ago. The fact that I haven't done it shows that it is a very big deal to me. So I'm going to accept that. For whatever reason, this task, this writing project, this next step forward, this is a big deal for me. And that's okay. It is what it is. After we bring the awareness to it and the acceptance to it, then we're going to look deeper. Then we're going to say, okay, what is the expectation that I'm setting up in my mind around this task? What is the thing that I feel that I'm not doing, the way that I'm falling down on the job, the way that I'm messing up as a person? What is the expectation in my own mind that I have set up that I'm not meeting and that I'm shaming myself for? And a lot of times you will feel like someone else is looking at you and judging you. You will feel like, well, my accountant is the one waiting for the tax paperwork, or my editor is the one waiting for me to get the revised edits back to her, or the book cover designer has been waiting on me forever, or I told my friends and family I was writing a book and I haven't finished it and they're all waiting, right? So a lot of times other people will come in as these phantoms in your mind of like, they're all waiting for me, they're all judging me. It's really good to be aware of those phantoms as well. Okay, who am I projecting this onto? Who do I think has expectations for my rate of progress, what I'm doing and what I'm not doing? Is that really true? Is that really real? And is that really appropriate? Is it appropriate that my main motivation for finishing my book is that my friends and family are impatient about it, which they probably aren't. But again, we've set that up in our mind as true. So is that really appropriate? Is that real? Is that true? So once we can see, okay, this is actually what's going on. This is how I'm shaming myself. This is the expectation that I think I'm failing to meet. And this is why it's making me feel so badly. Then we can drop that expectation. Then we can say, this expectation, it's either not true, it's not real, or it's not helpful. It's an outdated expectation. Sure, 3 months ago, I thought I should be able to do that in 2 weeks. Guess what? I was wrong. It's 3 months later. I still haven't done it. I'm going to start from where I am. And I'm going to drop the expectation about how long this should take me, or how many other people would do it better than me, or how much easier it is for other people, or how everyone else has it all together and I don't. I'm going to drop all of those judgments and I'm going to drop all of those expectations, and I'm going to start clean with this task. No judgments, no expectations, and I'm just going to do what I can do right now, even if that's the tiniest of baby steps. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in today. I hope this video was helpful to you. If it was, please subscribe to my channel. I do a lot of writing-related content, especially for intuitive people, highly sensitive people, highly creative people. If that's you, this is going to be a really good channel for you to watch regularly, because I do a lot of stuff with writing and creativity, sensitivity, intuition, all that good stuff. So please subscribe to my channel. Also, please subscribe to my newsletter. You get a free ebook, Firefly Magic, Heart-Powered Marketing for Highly Sensitive Writers. Totally free. Sign up for my newsletter. Links are below. Thanks so much. I'll see you next time.